On a previous unboxing and review, I reviewed something from TEMU.com, and I said it was the only saber you should consider getting on that site because they do have a lot of really junky sabers. And that saber was made by a company called Dupengda. Now Dupengda has released another saber on TEMU.com, and they sent it to me to have a look at and to show you. So this is actually the second saber that you should consider getting on TEMU. Let's check it out. Hello to all my Jedi and Sith companions. I am your host, the Frugal Jedi, and thank you for joining me as we unbox and review this Luke V1 lightsaber from Dupengda, and this is available on TEMU.com. I've seen it on the US site, the Canadian site, the UK site, and I haven't really checked all the international sites. It would just take me way too long, but those three sites are usually the most popular ones that people are going to go on, and my audience is mostly based in those three countries. This saber comes in two different configurations. You can get it RGB, so this uses the Xeno RGB version 3 core, so that's going to have Bluetooth capabilities. You'll have blaster, flash on clash, lockup, gesture control, infinite color change for the blade, and it is my favorite type of RGB saber. It's really, really good. And the price for the RGB model is $111.98 US with free shipping. You can also get it in the Neopixel V3, and that's the one we're going to look at today. And Neopixel will have 34 sound fonts, plus all those things I mentioned, but you're also going to have ignition effects, blade effects, and it is really cool because it has the LEDs built into the blade, and I'll show you a little bit about that afterwards. And the price for the Neopixel V3 is $156.98 US, again with free shipping. If you're looking for a saber that has the feel of Luke Skywalker, but it's not an identical replica, this is one you should consider. So you know how much it costs and where to get it. I'm going to point the camera down towards the table, unbox it for you, show you what's included, give you a 360-degree view of the hilt, attach the blade, and then we'll move on to my first impressions. So this is the Luke V1, and it doesn't have the large control box around the button like you do see in the movies. This is a flat button design, and it's a lot easier to hold. So if you're wanting something that's comfortable for spinning and for cosplaying or for doing movies, this is much easier to hold than something that has the control box around it. This saber is not meant for dueling at all. It doesn't matter if you pick RGB, you should never fight with a skinny neck. Right here where it's really skinny is where it's very weak. If you were to bang it really hard, you could cause it to snap in that section and you break the saber. So this is more for just for spinning and using it on your hip or just to show it off. I wouldn't whack it hard against another saber because most likely you're going to start putting a lot of strain and it'll break, and you don't want that. It is a polished aluminum, so it's very shiny, mirror finish, so it will get full of fingerprints. So I recommend, have a microfiber cloth, wipe it down when you're done with it. 4 screws to hold in the blade at the top, so it does a really good job of holding that in place. And you can remove the pommel. And you'll have to remove the pommel to charge it, and you'll see that there's a USB-C connection on the bottom. You plug it in, it'll say charging, and when it's done, it'll say ready. And a full charge usually takes around 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, depending on how dead the battery is. And what's cool is the Xeno Configurator app. If you connect it through Bluetooth, it'll tell you the battery life, which is really nice. Before I put that back on, I want to show you one thing. The micro SD card is inside there. So if you do want to access the micro SD, you have to remove the screw on the back, slide out the core, and then you can add more sound fonts and music. Put it back in, tighten the screw, and you're good to go. If you're not concerned about adding music or adding more sound fonts, then you don't have to worry about that. So you have the ring on the bottom as well to hang it or to clip it onto your belt. Looks really nice. The button itself doesn't have a light on it. So what you're going to want to do in the Xeno Configurator app is you want to turn on countdown. So countdown will make a beeping sound to represent the light flashing. So as an example, one light flash or one beep would be the volume selection menu.
Volume low. Mute. Volume high.
And you have high, low, and mute. And then if you want more control over the volume, you can use the app to get very specific with your volume level.
Unstable.
So 2 beeps will change your blade style. So this is unstable. And there are a lot of different blade styles and ignition effects. And it's been a while since I've actually done just the demonstration of the different blade styles and ignition effects. So I'm going to do that for you and have a look at these.
Fire blade. Steady. Unstable. Rainbow blade. Candy blade. Cracked blade. Pulse. Flash blade. Broken ignition. Photon ignition. Stack ignition. Warp ignition. Phaser ignition. Scavenger ignition. Hunter ignition.
I remember the first time I ever saw a Neopixel saber and I was just blown away by how cool those effects are. And, you know, I forget sometimes that there are some people who have never seen it. And if that was your first time, you know, I hope you were just kind of blown away as much as I was the first time I saw it. You can adjust your sound fonts, so you can change them using gesture control.
The Protector, the Dark Empress, the Sun.
So we know who the Sun is. You can do blaster blocks, and tip drag. You have a melt function. And what's cool is when you rotate the handle, it changes color. Lock up. And you can hear how that sound changes as I move the saber. You can hear the accent swings. When you swing it really hard, it makes a different sound effect. And you can change your blade color on the fly as well. So you can do it a few different ways. You can hold it facing downwards and twist.
Color change.
And that'll do a quick color selection.
Color selected.
And then you can also do it using the button.
Color change.
And this is infinite color selection. So it takes a little longer, but it'll go through the entire spectrum of color.
Color selected.
And again, you can do pretty much everything on your Bluetooth app as well if you prefer that.
The Dark Lord Order.
Let's check out the Dark Lord Order. Yeah, I do love that sound effect. I am the frugal Jedi, but the Sith have such cool sounding sabers.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
You've seen a few of the things that this Luke V1 can do. I'm going to take it outside, spin it around, have some fun with it, and then join me back at the table for final thoughts. It's time for my final thoughts, so let me tell you what I think of this Luke V1 lightsaber by Dupengda. It was shipped in a timely manner, came in around 2 weeks in the mail. The box is your standard box. It's nothing fancy about it, but it did the job well. The hilt was bubble wrapped, cellophane on the blade itself, and a little bit of foam in there, so nothing was damaged. Very happy with how it's packaged. It comes with your basic accessories, so you know, your USB charging cable, which is a necessity, the micro SD adapter for adding more sound fonts and music. Instruction manual, of course. It would have been nice if they included a display stand, because this is kind of a showy piece. I mean, it looks really nice, and I love that polished finish for on display. Looks really good. On your hands, not so much, because you are going to get fingerprints all over it. So make sure you wipe it clean. The blade is a good length and really well constructed. So inside this blade are pixel strips surrounded by white foam. And what I'm listening for is to see if that foam moves around, and it doesn't. And that's what you want. You want it to be a nice, quiet blade in there. The 4 screws hold the blade in really well. And I like how they have the gold here and the black. I mean, aside from the control box, it pretty much looks like Luke Skywalker's saber. The one downside is that if you do want to add more sound fonts, you are going to have to take off that screw and pull the core out. That's not a huge deal, because sound fonts are something that you kind of add in groups. You're not going to be, or hope not, you're not going to be taking out that core every single day to add a new sound font. You're going to put what you want on there in your music, and then you're going to put it in, and you're probably not going to add anything else to it for a while. I like the ring for holding it onto your belt. And otherwise, price-wise, I mean, it's really good. Low price, and you're getting a really nice saber. And amazingly, it's coming from TEMU.com. So yeah, this is something I would recommend to people who want a display piece, or who want to cosplay, who want to swing it around. You like the Luke look, but you don't want to be spending a fortune for a replica. This is a great alternative. The people I wouldn't recommend to buy this: if you want a saber for fighting someone else. You do not want to use a Luke because of that skinny neck. If you hit it too hard, you risk cracking it and breaking it. Light combat, maybe, but I'd still be very leery about doing that. It's more just a showy piece for doing cool tricks and taking video, and or just have it on your display somewhere, because it is really nice to look at. Well, that does it for this unboxing and review. As always, if you found it helpful, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this, and hit that bell so you're notified whenever I release a new video. If you do have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section and I'll answer you as quickly as I can. I have more lightsaber unboxings and reviews. I have a giveaway coming up, and I have some big news coming as well, and I'm so excited to announce it soon. Just, you know, working out the last few little things, and then, yeah, we're going to be dropping quite the bomb. Anyways, that'll do it for now. I will see you next time. Thank you all for watching, and may the Force be with you.